What is up, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Today I wanted to start a new series on this channel called Tuesday Talks. Now, I know a lot of my channel is talking already, but for this series I really wanted to focus on my personal experiences. I know I mention kind of some things I've gone through or some things I've experienced in my personal life when I talk about other topics that I feel are important. But for this series specifically, I want to give you guys updates on my personal life every single week. And that video and this series is going to be obviously on Tuesdays. And essentially my goal for creating this series and just posting very consistently about specifically my experiences and my life every single week is to give you guys a deeper dive on who I am. The whole point of this channel, the whole point of these videos is for you guys to hopefully find someone that you can resonate with. There are billions of people on this earth, and yet so many of us feel like we don't have anyone that relates to us. We don't have anyone to listen to us, and we don't feel heard when we speak. And so the whole point of this is to possibly expose things that go on in my life and show you guys that I really am just another human being. But I'm someone that hopefully you can resonate with. Hopefully you can have some relatable experiences. And then hopefully you can translate that to watching other pieces of my content and really understanding kind of that perspective and that mindset. And in the end game, my goal is to build a community of growth, build a community of becoming a better person and being a better version of yourself every single day, every single week, every single year. Just trying to do what you can to be a better version of yourself. And so that's the goal, is to talk about my life every single week, find people that possibly resonate with some of the experiences I go through, and talk about topics that are extremely important in bettering ourselves for this short amount of time we are on this earth. And so for this first episode of Tuesday Talks, I wanted to talk about my more recent decision to delete social media platforms. Now, I do still have Snapchat purely for my group chats with friends, and I do still have YouTube as well as other streaming platforms for just watching shows. However, what I mean by deleting social media apps, I'm talking about TikTok and Instagram, the two social media platforms that arguably have completely ruined our generation and has ruined so many people's perspective of the real world. And I'm guilty of this. I used to scroll very consistently whenever I was bored. Any second that I had a moment of silence in my life, any second I was bored, any second I just didn't have something to occupy my mind, I would instinctually go on Instagram and scroll through my Explore page, or go on TikTok and just scroll endlessly. Or even worse, at night before I'm going to bed, I would scroll while I'm brushing my teeth, or scroll while I'm just winding down for the day. And in the end of the day, that does not help you in any way, shape, or form. If you watched 1,000 videos on TikTok or on Instagram, and they all were about a very good motivational topic, for example, or maybe an informative topic, I promise you, you will learn less from those 1,000 videos than you will from watching one or two long-form YouTube videos on that same topic. And everyone knows how bad social media platforms are, and yet no one seems to do anything about it. everyone is so addicted to these social media platforms, to their phones. And I'm not going to say I'm not addicted to my phone. I still am very addicted to my cell phone. I mean, I probably pick this thing up like hundreds of times a day instinctually, but that doesn't mean that I have to have social media platforms on there. I utilize my phone now for pretty much mostly productive things. And by getting social media platforms off my cell phone, it has limited my use of the device that I'm clearly addicted to. And it has made it so maybe I'm not always so inclined to pick it up. Maybe sometimes I think, okay, it's fine. I can just leave it on the counter and I can go upstairs and brush my teeth before bed. Or I can plug it in and not touch it for the last 30 minutes of my day. Little things like that I have really noticed are changing my life because I'm not as stressed out. I don't have such a clouded vision and a clouded memory every single day from the constant dopamine and the constant information that I'm consuming. And by just putting your phone down for a few times throughout the day, you allow yourself to kind of wind back down and resensitize yourself to the rest of your day. You can resensitize yourself and calm down and just really retain information better, in my opinion. But yeah, so that has been probably the biggest change in my life this most recent week. I highly recommend that you guys do the same. If you are like me and you scroll when you're bored, you don't even really know why you're scrolling, I think you should try it and just delete them off your phone. You don't have to delete your accounts or anything like that. Obviously, if you have something that you really want to check, feel free to re-download the app and just check real quick and then delete it again. It's not that hard, but having that barrier to entry of scrolling, and by having to re-download it, maybe re-sign into that account, it really does diminish the amount of times you're gonna catch yourself doing that. So I highly recommend that everyone in that situation does it. I'm gonna continue to do it. I've honestly felt no negative side effects from deleting those apps, and I think it's really important for focusing on yourself and growing and living life to its fullest, because we really are on this earth for such a short amount of time. And I'm going to admit way too much of my time so far has been on that phone. And so my goal is to make it less so, make it so I can actually live my life and allow myself to be present in the moment. Another thing going on this week is I have been dieting down. A lot of you might know I'm into fitness pretty heavily. I like bodybuilding, all that stuff. So I've been on a diet for probably 3 weeks now, and I've lost a good amount of weight. It's been working out well. I had already been at a relatively low body fat percentage. However, more recently I kind of caught myself slacking, and I was eating off diet a little bit too much, and I gained a little bit of weight back. So before college graduation and before summer, I decided that it's time to just stop slacking. I knew I was making mistakes. And so after my trip home for my Kanye West concert back in early April, I decided once I got back here to college and got back into my routine, I would focus on that diet again. And so far it has been working out very well. Another thing that happened this week was, I don't know if you could see it, but sorry, the light is really bright. I went ahead and got a new tattoo on Thursday last week. So that is a really exciting thing. It's obviously still healing, but that is something that I've been wanting for a long time, and I found a really good artist out here in Montana. And so I'm very fortunate that I got an appointment and I got that taken care of. I really love it. The person did a great job and makes me look badass, I think. I think when you're a fit man or whatever, like a fit male, you work out a bunch and you have like a few cool tattoos, I think it's dope. And anyone that says otherwise is honestly kind of just lying to themselves. They might call it dumb, but I think it's dope. So, deleted social media, dieting, working out obviously is included in that. I'm still working out a ton, doing my cardio, either on the treadmill or on the Stairmaster. I recommend you guys do the same. Cardio every single day is crucial. And then third major thing this week was the tattoo. Now, those are essentially the three things I kind of wanted to talk about in this video. And I'm sure there's going to be weeks where I have less things to talk about, but my goal is to post these videos every single week alongside my more topic-oriented videos, and just really give you guys an inside scoop on my life. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, I really am just another person. We are all related in that sense. We are all people at the end of the day. And if I can show you guys and show the world that I am just another person, regardless of the experiences I go through, then hopefully on some level you can relate to me. And if you are open to the idea of building yourself up and building stronger as a community, as a race of humans, then feel free to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and tune in for future videos, because we're always working on building ourselves up. We're always working on being a better version of ourselves. And that doesn't stop for me. That doesn't stop for people that are doing better than me. It doesn't stop for anyone. And so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to stay tuned for future videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Tuesday Talks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.